Actually, it wasn't that much to make a French toast. Part two for the Minister of Defense. I was offended when I heard recruiting doctors, let's say, to come to BC from the States, which is not a bad idea, but there's a better idea. Again, because we really should be declaring a state of emergency in medical care in all provinces and territories in Canada in general, is the military should train more doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, every kind of category you want, and then they would be requested when the time comes. And you might say, well, you're not problem solving in any other way. This has been going on for a long time. Getting doctors to come to Canada from the U.S. are you going to make them go through a program where they have to go through the 6 books Canadian Concepts from Pearson Publishing? Because I tell you, the Canadian government owes decades of apologies for the human rights violations of domesticating newcomers or people learning new languages, let's say when they travel somewhere else, from that book. And from the 2 lady authors. Like, I've offered Pearson to rewrite a book that doesn't violate people's human rights and that actually really builds, because it doesn't build, it's just different ways to domesticate people, these 6 books. So are you going to do that with the doctors? Because in a way, these doctors come from a capitalist system. And if you can't admit, as Canadian politicians, that the public and private sector of medical care is mixed in every part of Canada, and that's a big part of the issue, as I've been saying for years, then maybe you might say, oh no, we have to vet them now if they have to go work for medical for the military. Okay, well, don't make them go there, but at least train new doctors that are Canadian in the military and offer tutors, offer academic supports. Because recruiting people elsewhere that are in systemic issues type of systems is not a good idea. And again, this is what I've been saying about immigration for a long time. Immigration is needed everywhere on the planet, in part because of the climate emergency, but also because of cultural evolution. Not economic growth, cultural evolution. But to do that there has to be Canadian concept books that I haven't written that would say, like, let's do this exercise where you tell us what's bad about the culture you're coming from and what's good. And then let's do exercises where you do the same for Canada, what's bad and good here. And you should read that chapter because there's plenty of bad stuff, and write an essay about it from Canada. And then leave the bad, take the good. Arrive here, take the good, don't take our bad. So that's what the doctor should go through. If you don't do this and you're just filling blanks somewhere in a way that's going to make it worse in a few years, it's not good. But if in the military these doctors are totally separate from the private sector, they cannot have a private practice where they charge things that really Canadian system of medical care says they can't charge things, but they've still been doing it a lot in Canada, and I've posted some of my own experiences with that. It feels like I'm being mugged in the emergency room for the cash in my wallet, and nobody's responding to this when I write politicians about it. Then again, incorporate this problem solving, this cultural repair. There's cultural repair ideas out the wazoo that I have. Incorporate it, any kind of funding you want to do. Just ask me about it.